Hi, this is All This Science, the science podcast that describes an interesting aspect of science in 5 minutes or less. We are Taylor and Kara, and we are the guest podcasters for this episode on lungs versus gills. Lungs breathe in oxygen from the air, while gills get oxygen from water. Lungs are internal, and gills are external. Lungs are the primary organ in the respiratory system in humans. The function of lungs is to extract oxygen from the atmosphere and to release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. The way that the respiratory system and lungs work is that the inhaled oxygen enters the airways, which are tubes that carry oxygen into our lungs, and it reaches the alveoli, which are tiny air sacs where gas exchange happens. When the oxygen reaches the alveoli, it is exchanged for carbon dioxide in the blood. This process is called gas exchange. Now the oxygen is carried throughout the rest of the body, where it is used to produce energy. Gills are respiratory organs found in many aquatic organisms that extract dissolved oxygen from water and excretes carbon dioxide. The way the respiratory system in gills works is that the water flows past the gills in the opposite direction to the blood flow, which means fish can extract oxygen 3 times the rate humans can. Fish pull in water through their mouths and pump it over to their gills. Gills collect dissolved oxygen from the water and release carbon dioxide. Gills are made up of 3 parts: the filaments, the arches, and the rakers. The filaments are where the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide take place. The arches provide structural support for the gills. The rakers are appendages that run along the inside edge of the arches, which prevent food from entering the gills. There is also operculum, which is a hard flap that covers the gills. It allows the water pressure to be adjusted in the gills so that fish can breathe without forward movement. Have you ever wondered which is more efficient, gills or lungs? Well, gills are more efficient than lungs because gills have a higher surface area for gas exchange to happen. Gills have to be more efficient because air holds 33 times more oxygen than water. Also, fish have to pump 40 times more water through their gills than they would air through lungs to get the same amount of oxygen. Therefore, gills are more efficient than lungs. The similarities between gills and lungs are that oxygen diffuses into the bloodstream, gas exchange happens in both processes, both species would die without oxygen, and they both breathe some form of oxygen. The differences are that gills are aquatic and lungs are terrestrial. Gills' blood flow is in the opposite direction of water flow. Lungs are internal and gills are external. And gills can only breathe underwater and lungs can only breathe air. What if something had both lungs and gills? Well, there is a rare species called the lungfish which has both lungs and gills, which means it can breathe underwater, and if there's a drought, it can breathe air for up to a year. For the perfusion of water, the lungfish obtains oxygen from its gills. The circulatory system is configured similarly to the common fish. The spiral valve of the conchus arterius is open. The bypass arterioles of the 3rd and 4th arches are shut. The 2nd, 5th, and 6th gill arch arterioles are open, and the pulmonary artery is closed. As water passes through the gills, the lungfish uses a buccal pump. For the perfusion of air, the spiral valve closes. The 3rd and 4th gill arches open. The 2nd and 5th close, minimizing loss of oxygen obtained by gills. The 6th arterial ductus is closed and the pulmonary arteries are open. This is the exact opposite of the perfusion of water. The 6th gill is used in respiration. Deoxygenated blood loses some carbon dioxide as it passes through the gill before reaching the lungs. Now, wasn't that a breath of fresh air? Thanks for listening to All This Science. Contact us at allthescience@gmail.com if you'd like.